Alright, in this video I'm going to go through each single match at WrestleMania 41 this past weekend and determine whether or not they had the correct winner walk out of WrestleMania. Let's get into it. First and foremost, let's start with the opening match on night one, and that being Jey Uso versus the world champion Gunther at the time. And in my opinion, I think this was probably the wrong loser, but at the same time, I really did enjoy what they did with Gunther on Monday Night Raw, the Raw after. Truthfully, I really did not like what they did with Jey Uso, the Raw after. Him having a massive celebration and him basically not showing any hints of who he's going to be feuding with. I didn't really enjoy that aspect of it. But in terms of, you know, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it right now. In terms of putting the champion on someone who's worthy, the championship on someone who's worthy, they really did not do that. Jey Uso is not worthy of this championship, and I hate everybody who thinks he is. It's getting really ridiculous. He is not worthy of this championship, and I cannot understand why people think he is. Gunther was starting to really get it clicking, like get the gears moving in his title reign, and then they just take it off of him. I mean, it's getting pretty ridiculous with the names that have beaten Gunther. I mean, Sami Zayn at first was a little weird, you know, but I was actually okay with at least one underdog being the guy to beat him. And now we're starting the trend of having all the underdogs beat Jey Uso, or beat Gunther, and that being Jey Uso. And honestly, I was not a fan of it. Truthfully, if they did not do what they did on Monday night with Gunther, I probably would be less okay with this title reign than I am right now. But if they are really doing this where Gunther is basically going off the rails and he's basically, you know, just being the most vicious heel out there, then honestly, I'm okay with it. But honestly, I really think Jey Uso should not have the championship on him, and quite frankly, I think they need to find a way to take it off of him already. I mean, I'm not looking forward to this title reign. I don't know about all you. Next, we had the Tag Team Championship match between the War Raiders and the New Day. Match that should not have been on the card, but that's not what this is about. This is about whether or not I think they had the correct winner. And yes, I think they had the correct winner, but at the same time, this match should have happened 3 months ago when the New Day initially turned heel, or have the New Day turn heel like last week. I don't know why they did that heel turn so soon. It's almost like they rushed it and they didn't really have a single plan for the New Day. I feel like this Tag Team Championship victory would have been bigger. I feel like this match would have been bigger if the New Day had just turned heel, because obviously the New Day have been beloved by everybody for like the last 10 years. And now all of a sudden they turn heel, and basically you don't make a big deal out of it when it happens, and you basically underuse them, in my opinion. Yes, I think this was the correct winner, but honestly, they could have went about how they did it a little bit better, in my opinion. Next, we had Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and quite frankly, this one I have been going back and forth with, but honestly, I think they do not have the correct winner here. I do not think Jade Cargill should have been handed this victory. It's almost as if they didn't feud for long enough, in my opinion. This, in my opinion, should have been the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk type of feud for the women, and it was shaping up to be that. You know, Naomi cost Jade like 3 months of her career, and kind of the same thing happened with Punk and McIntyre. I mean, McIntyre costed him obviously way longer, but the same thing kind of happened. And so for that reason alone, I honestly think this feud could have been dragged out a little bit longer. And maybe it does get dragged out a little bit longer. Maybe you do not have the heel win right away and you have them win like the second match or something like that. But I don't know. In order to keep the fire going, I honestly really do believe that having Naomi win at WrestleMania was probably the right call, but they didn't go with that route. And honestly, I have no idea if they are planning on moving Jade away from Naomi already. If they do that, honestly, I don't think that's the best idea. I think that's honestly a miss, in my opinion. I think them two really should have like a feud going for a little while here. And honestly, I think it would be a really good women's feud that should have been Rhea and Liv. That should have been one of the best feuds of all time, and it's been one of the biggest letdowns of all time. So honestly, let Jade and Naomi cook. You know, Naomi has been cooking for the last however long now. Naomi was the one who really had the crowd really into this feud, you know, have everybody into this feud. Naomi, I want to say, is the one who made this feud actually interesting in the first place. And then you have Jade just beat her at WrestleMania. Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of that. I don't think Jade really should have gotten the win right away. Next, we have LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, and yes, I believe this was the correct winner. I don't have anything else to say about this match. I think it's Jacob Fatu's time to shine, and LA Knight, honestly, I would love to see him maybe enter the world title picture, you know, against Jey Uso, and maybe have him turn a little bit of heel. I would really love to see what they do with that, but then again, LA Knight and Jey Uso are not on the same brand. But at the same time, I do feel like you can make it work. You're doing that with Randy Orton and John Cena right now. I feel like you can make it work. Honestly, I really do believe this is what they should do, but they probably won't do that. Either way though, Jacob Fatu, this is his time to shine. Next we have El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix, and yes, regardless if this was Rey Mysterio or Rey Fenix, El Grande Americano should 100% have won this match. I do believe that giving El Grande Americano the win is 100% what they should have done, and I am so damn glad they did that. You know, regardless, as I said, if it's Rey Fenix or Rey Mysterio, they're two great luchadors, but at the same time, you're trying to build this character up, and having him basically get destroyed not even a month after he has been created is kind of stupid. So, in my opinion, having him win here was the correct call. And believe it or not, if it's Chad Gable or not, I'm assuming it is, obviously, but Chad Gable deserved this moment, and I'm so happy for him, honestly. He deserved this moment after all the hard work he has done lately. Regardless if it's El Grande Americano or not, he deserves this, and he's doing such good work with this character. I would really love to see what they have in store for him coming up. Next, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship, and I believe that this was, again, the correct winner. Now, I wish there was a little bit better of a match, but the problem with that is the fact that their two styles are so damn similar that I already had a feeling going into it that they were going to have a tough time making it work. They have such similar styles, you know, that it just didn't, I don't know, there was something about it where Charlotte Flair had to become like the powerhouse and the grappler when Tiffany Stratton really, and they're both very similar in movesets and styles that I just didn't see it really working that well. I mean, I think they did a solid job at making it work, but at the same time, you could definitely tell it was a little weird. Granted, I do believe that Charlotte Flair did kind of make Tiffany Stratton here. I think this was a huge win for Tiffy, and I do believe that Tiffy deserved this win. Going into it, I think Tiffany was the one that should win it, and I'm glad they went with that, because again, Tiffany is just getting started here. I really would love to see what else they have in store for her. If she's winning at WrestleMania, we can almost guarantee that she's going to lose at SummerSlam. And so because that's the second biggest PLE. I mean, if you're going to have her lose to a name like Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, I really do not see Tiffany Stratton losing the championship until probably SummerSlam. And even then, she may not lose there, she might win. Who knows? They really might view Tiffany Stratton as a big name here, and they're trying to really build her name up. Either way, though, I think there are a lot of really solid feuds that await her, and I'm glad they did not just put the belt on Charlotte Flair right away. And for all I know, they might just revisit this exact feud come SummerSlam, and that's when Charlotte Flair might win. If they do that, so be it. I wouldn't mind that, honestly. Allow people to maybe start getting behind Charlotte Flair again, because I think they obviously just had the idea that Charlotte Flair was going to win her 15th championship right as she came back, and obviously the fans were not behind that. They were more behind Tiffany Stratton, and I think they just went with the fan route on this one. I really do believe that they really just were listening to the crowd. Obviously, Charlotte was getting booed to the oblivion. I think they want the crowd to be really happy when Charlotte Flair wins her 15th. Now, I've already said that this match was an absolute masterclass, but it's between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. I do believe that this match blew every other match that night out of the water. I mean, if it weren't for this match, WrestleMania Saturday would have been a complete bust. And so, waiting through all of those matches to see this one was 100% worth it. I really would do it 1,000 times over again. This match was absolutely phenomenal, one of the best of all time in my opinion. And I really do believe that, again, they had the correct winner. Sorry. I was going into it thinking Seth Rollins should win, and he needed the win, and that's 100% what they went with. And I am so happy they did that because, again, he 100% deserves it. Seth Rollins has been the stable workhorse for the past 10 years, showing up when no one else was. Roman had been very inconsistent within the past 5 years, obviously, because of his scheduling or whatnot. And CM Punk obviously just came back like a year ago. So seriously, I really do believe that this was the correct winner. Giving it to Roman or Punk, I don't think advanced the storyline at all. And obviously, it goes to show that they have so much more in store for us. Having Braun Breaker side with Seth Rollins was so damn awesome this past Monday. And then even Paul Heyman. Heyman betraying both of his best friends for Seth Rollins. That was the best decision they've ever come up with. And honestly, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This match absolutely rocked. It ruled. It was a fantastic match, in-ring work and storyline work. And now I have a feeling that this feud in general, is going to carry us all the way until next year's WrestleMania. And I could easily see something happening at next year's WrestleMania between the three of them. And now Braun Breaker's in part of it. And honestly, I have no idea if they're going to carry this on to WrestleMania, but it is a WrestleMania-worthy feud. And it just proved that this past Saturday night. Now we move on to Sunday night, and this starts with the opening match being between the champion Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the Women's World Championship. And I believe that this was the correct winner. Going into it, I was saying that Io Sky should win this, and the only other one I could see maybe winning was Bianca Belair, but thankfully they did not go that route. Thankfully they went the route of Io Sky winning, and I think this match made Io Sky so much bigger. I believe that this was basically the version of Charlotte Flair putting over Tiffany Stratton, but way, way better. Rhea and Bianca put over Io Sky so damn much. Io Sky, I don't think really needed it as badly as Tiffany Stratton did, but at the same time she did, because Io Sky cannot talk as well as Tiffany Stratton can. And honestly, Tiffany Stratton is kind of annoying on the mic. Don't know about you, but she is. Either way though, this really did help Io Sky get over with the fans. Her charisma, it shows. She is an energetic world champion, and honestly, if you can't talk, show the emotion through your movements and your body language and all that, and you'll get the crowd behind you. And she's done that, and she's done that to a high level. And then her in-ring ability, she's easily one of the best, if not the best, women's wrestler on the roster, and it's not even close. I mean, seriously, she is so damn good. Her selling, her actual wrestling, it's so good, and quite frankly, I don't see anyone who's really close to her right now. But either way, again, this helped Io Sky so much, and it helped put her over. Rhea and Bianca are both well-established stars, and so Io really wasn't, and this really did help Io Sky. And so I'm excited to see what they do with her. Obviously, they brought some NXT talent up to maybe start something with her and Rhea, but I have no idea if they're going to do that or not. I would be really interested to see that, but it seems like Rhea is going to stay going after the World Championship, which I kind of wish they didn't do. I kind of wish Bianca Belair and Rhea entered a little feud, and that I think would be so much better if they did that and let Io Sky go do something else for the time being. I think they should have done that, but it doesn't seem like they're going to, so we'll just have to see what they do. Next, we have the Sin City Street fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, and yes, I believe that this was the correct winner. I do not care whether or not this doesn't advance storylines or what the case may be, but Drew McIntyre deserved this win 100 times over again. There was no way in hell that Damian Priest should win this match, so I am really happy that they gave it to Drew. Either way you put it, Drew McIntyre is at the top of the championship pecking order, so if you can easily insert him into the championship, into a world championship match, no one would bat an eye. So with that being said, I really think that it ultimately didn't matter who won this match, although Drew McIntyre 100% should have won this match. The way I see it is the person who wins this match basically gets a world championship match coming up soon. I really do believe that's what they're going to do. But either way, maybe Damian Priest gets revenge on Drew. Maybe they make Drew go into another blood feud with Damian Priest. I would not want to see that, but maybe they'll make it interesting. I have no idea. Next, we have the Fatal 4-Way between Penta, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and the champion Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. And yes, I believe that this was the correct winner. I believe Dirty Dom 100% should have won this match. And I am so glad they went the route of having him pin Finn, because they can go back to that. Finn's already showing things of whether or not he should be pissed off at Dom or be happy for Dom this past Monday night. And so I think this is going to be a slow build again. Obviously, they've been teasing the feud between them for quite some time now. But I have a feeling that it is going to be Finn that takes the belt off of Dom, as it should be. Finn should not. There is only one person on the roster that should be taking the belt off of Dom right now. That's in the mid-card, and that is Finn Balor. Finn is the only one in the mid-card, okay? In the mid-card. So all the upper people, they can obviously take the belt off of Dom, but the people in the mid-card, so Finn is the only one in the mid-card that I believe should really be the one to dethrone Dom. I think all the Judgment Day can obviously help Dom retain all the time, but again, I really would love to see what they do with this, because I think Dom and Finn is a match for SummerSlam, and I think that'll be a really damn good one. Next, we have a match between Randy Orton and Joe Hendry that was supposed to be Kevin Owens. I'm so upset that we didn't get to see this match between Randy and Kevin Owens, but obviously giving Joe Hendry some spotlight for all the stuff that TNA has been doing with WWE was really cool to see. And apparently Randy Orton picked Joe Hendry, hand selected him or whatever to be the one he faced at WrestleMania, which was really cool for Joe Hendry. And so with that being said, though, yes, Randy Orton should have won this match. You know, it's his 20th match in his career at WrestleMania. So yes, I believe Randy Orton should win this match. This obviously is not going to do anything for Randy or Joe Hendry, but it was just a match to get Randy Orton his 20th match at Mania. And now we can obviously see he's entering a feud with John Cena, so I'm interested to see where that goes. Next, we have the match between Logan Paul and AJ Styles. Personally, I do not think that they had the correct winner here, because I really would love to have seen what they did with Logan Paul losing here. Logan Paul, in my opinion, does not suffer enough losses. He wins almost every match he's a part of, and I am not really a fan of that, because it's almost as if they're just giving him exactly what he wants, rather than him working for actually, being good. They're just letting him be good out of the gate. And yes, I get he is good in the ring and he has great mic skills. I'm a big advocate of his, but I really would love to see a struggle for him. I would love to see him be around more. And he did say he wanted to pick up a more full-time schedule. Well, this is a way to do it. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's actually going to do that. So that's probably why they gave him the win here. But whatever way you put it, I want to just assume that he is going to try to be more full-time. And if that's the case, I really do not believe Logan Paul should have won here. I really would want to see what they did with him facing a little bit more adversity than he's used to. And that would have been more interesting, in my opinion. They kind of are doing AJ Styles a little bit dirty later in his career. AJ Styles is losing almost every freaking match he's a part of now, outside of on Raw matches. But matches on PLEs, he's like Randy Orton, man. I mean, Randy has lost so many matches this past year on PLEs. I mean, it's not even funny. WrestleMania, I think, was his first PLE win in a long time. So kudos to Randy, but obviously AJ Styles kind of got shafted here, and I feel bad for him, because it's like AJ Styles doesn't deserve this. I think this was a great match, and I don't think Logan Paul should have won. I think I really would have liked to see what Logan Paul facing adversity would have been like, because again, I really think Logan Paul would have done a great job in making it look interesting. In my opinion, Logan Paul is kind of like Ethan Page of NXT. He's a cocky guy who I really do believe that they could have easily made look exactly like Ethan Page. They could have easily followed the same formula that they used for Ethan Page, but they didn't, and I really wish they did, because even Karrion Kross is getting involved in this, and that could have been a cool little I don't even know what they do with it, but I feel like they could find something to make it work. Next, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match between the champions Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch, who it was supposed to be Bayley, but Becky Lynch filled in via injury, which Bayley was not really injured, but Bayley got shafted here, so it's unfortunate for Bayley. But in my opinion, going into it, I thought there was no way in hell that the Lyra and whoever her mystery tag partner should win this match, and man was I wrong. Them winning here just set up a phenomenal feud coming up here for Lyra. This is going to put Lyra over on the main roster, and that is exactly what they want to do. So obviously, if you didn't see this past Monday Night Raw, Liv and Raquel regained the championships after they lost them Sunday night, and yeah, and then Becky Lynch turned heel on Lyra Valkyria, and this is going to be a phenomenal feud. I think, yes, this was the correct decision, and some people are pissed off about the fact that Lyra and Becky lost the titles right away, but I'm not. Honestly, I'm for it, because they don't do it enough, having things like this where you freaking win the titles back the next day. They don't do that enough, and honestly, when it is done, when it happens, it is done so damn well, because it's almost as if you're not expecting it to happen, because it never happens. And when it does happen, it's so damn cool. And yes, I believe that this was the right decision, because now they are going a really interesting route, and they're going to try to make the Intercontinental Championship a bigger name. I have a feeling Becky Lynch is going to win the feud between Lyra and her, but Lyra probably will come back a little bit of time, and she will probably regain that championship after Becky has added some prestige to it. And last but not least, we have the WWE Championship match between the champion Cody Rhodes and John Cena. And in my opinion, yes, they had the correct winner here. Although the way he won, I really wish it wasn't that way, because having just Travis Scott be the reason John Cena wins, and the reason Cody Rhodes wins against Roman Reigns being because of 4 Hall of Famers, I really was not a fan of that, but whatever. Either way you put it, I think this was the correct winner. John Cena obviously has so many cool feuds that are lined up for him. Obviously, we're starting with Randy Orton, so I would love to see where that goes. I don't think Randy Orton will beat him, but you never know. Maybe he does, and maybe John Cena wins it back from him and gives John Cena 18. Because I don't think they really have odd numbers with the ones on the upper echelon tiers, like having won 17 championships. I personally do not see them doing that, but maybe they do. I have no idea, because that basically would mean Randy Orton has to win 20 championships, and maybe they do that, maybe they don't. But either way, I really do believe that John Cena has a lot of cool feuds lined up for him, regardless of how this feud went and how this match ended and all the shit that we wish we saw in it. Regardless of all that, I do believe that this was the correct winner, and I do believe John Cena has a lot of awesome things lined up for him coming up. Now, this video will conclude my WrestleMania takes of this past WrestleMania weekend. Obviously, this will be my last one of the week, of the year, or whatever, for WrestleMania, and I really did enjoy it. WrestleMania this year has been a lot of fun, but honestly, there was definitely some things about it that were not fun, and so I really would love to know down below what you guys liked about WrestleMania, what you guys didn't like, because I'm sure there was a lot of things you guys didn't like about it. Me personally, Jey Uso winning is probably tops it all for me, or maybe The Rock not getting involved in the Cena-Cody match. Those two things I think are at the tippy top for me, but I really would love to know down below what you guys think about it, and tell me down below if you guys agree with me about who I think should and shouldn't have won at WrestleMania. And, you know, I believe that my list is pretty solid, but again, I would really love to know what you guys have to say down below, and that's it. Until next time, see ya.